everybody, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, hi, hello, my name is Gabby. I'm 26, almost 27. I live here in regional Victoria, Australia. I am a qualified pastry chef who's just recently returned back to work 2 days a week, and I am also a stay-at-home mum because I had a baby just over a year ago. So my content consists of just me being a stay-at-home mum because that is my life at the moment, but I also show some behind the scenes of my career as well. I also have an Instagram if you guys wanted to go check that out. It's just under Desserts by GL. It is mainly just dessert content, so if that's your thing, then check it out and follow along. But if it's not, well then don't. Today's video, I wanted to talk about, it's all things baby. So not your thing, then click off. I want to talk about all the things that I found essential during my newborn season, but also pretty much all the stuff that I absolutely loved during the first 12 months of Amelia being born, because you see videos out there of just like my newborn essentials. They're a baby for 12 months. That's nice to get the essentials for the first 3 months, but what about after 3 months? So I'm going to discuss all the stuff that I liked during the newborn season, but also all of the things that I absolutely love for the rest of the months. So let's get into it. So let's first talk about everything that I loved when Amelia was a newborn. The very first thing, I'll do a very simple one first. So this is the cream that I use for Amelia, the moisturizer I use every single night. I use the QV baby one. It's like it's the extra hydration one. It's a lot thicker than the other ones. I absolutely love it. I did use another brand, but I cannot remember what the brand was. It just made her break out into some eczema. I stopped using it and switched to the QV, and her skin has been thriving since, really. I've hardly had any eczema ever since, so highly recommend this brand. The next one is the nappy cream we've been using since she was a newborn. I've only ever had to use the one tube. I'm still on the original tube. That's how cost effective some nappy creams can be. It is the Panther cream. Super moisturizing, super hydrating, gets rid of nappy rash within like a day or two. It is the best stuff. I actually used this myself growing up. When I was a kid, my mum used it on me as a baby. Very trustworthy. I highly recommend it. So the next thing that I absolutely loved, and I'm going to highly recommend it to any of my friends, it is this bottle sterilizer. This is one that goes into the microwave. It is the Tommy Tippy brand. It fits 4 bottles in here, or even a little bit more if you could squeeze it in there. You just wash your bottles, pop it in there. You pop like 200 ml of water in the base, pop it in the microwave. It depends on the wattage of your microwave. You pop it in there. We had to put it in there for about 6 minutes, and then it's done. You can take the bottles out, fill them up with water, put them straight in the fridge. It is the best. Saves you waiting. I know some of the other brands that you can buy, they take like 45 minutes to sterilize, and then they do a drying thing, and it's just like a whole process. So I absolutely love this. Highly recommend getting like a microwave one. If you're one of those people who's all about radiation, even though you're probably watching this video on your mobile phone, I highly just recommend getting the microwave one. It's just quick and easy. When you're a new mum or you've got multiple babies, you need what's efficient. This is quick and efficient. My next favorite, which is my ultimate favorite, are the Urko Baby pouches. We absolutely love these. Amelia absolutely loves these. She has been using these since she was a newborn. She still wears them now. I've bought so many of these over the last 12 months. They are just so easy to put them in. They are comfortable. They come in all different togs. I will say they are on the more expensive side if you're not wanting to spend maybe $70 on a pouch. Some of these pouches can be about $70, but the best thing that comes with them is these room temperature thermometers. So if you are someone who, if you got a baby monitor, some of the more expensive baby monitors will come with a room temperature gauge. Like ours does come with a room temperature gauge, but I know that some of the cheaper brands just don't have that feature. And if you're ever really unsure what temperature is your room, the Ergo pouches, they come with a room thermometer, and it's actually very accurate. It always matches what it says on our baby monitor. So it's definitely 100% accurate. Absolutely highly recommend. It also has like a chart on how you should dress them for each temperature, which is really helpful, especially if you're a new mum and you're a bit stressed on how to dress them and how you know if your baby's comfortable or if they're too hot or too cold. These are the best. I have 2 of them. I did have 3, but I threw one of them out. The next one is a bouncer. We always put Amelia in a bouncer. I would get it, but it's completely disassembled and I don't know how to put it back together, but I'll pop it here on the screen. We actually had 2. So we had like a swing sort of bouncer kind of thing, and it had music and it had these hanging things on it. She hated it, but the cheap one that we bought, she loved it. So anybody out there who is not sure on what to buy, definitely wait until your baby comes to buy either the bouncer or the swing. Some babies just don't like it. And I've definitely heard this from other mums, especially some of the mums in my mum's group. We've noticed that all the babies are very different when it comes to what bouncer they're in, or if they're in a swing, or if they like the carrier and all these sorts of things. The swing was one thing. Like Amelia would sit in the swing for maybe 15 minutes. That was probably the very most. But she liked this bouncer a bit better because the hanging bits at the front, you could take it off and then she could just sit there and she could be a part of, like, we just have it next to the dining table, or I'd have it with me in the kitchen, so she'd just sit there and chill out. But then if I wanted her to do a little bit of play, then I'd pop the little toy bits back on the bouncer, and she just, yeah, she loved it. So the next essential, especially if you're having a winter baby, I highly recommend a vaporizer, as they are more highly likely to have a cold or the flu or just get a runny nose, blocked nose, anything like that. The vaporizer was our savior. The nice warm hot steam in their room just helps let them breathe a bit better, especially if they've got a really bad blocked nose. Every time Amelia has a blocked nose, we put it straight in her room and she sleeps amazingly. It just helps clear out her airways a bit better. So yeah, absolutely loved. The next thing that I personally loved was our pram. We went to Baby Bunting and we tested out a lot of prams. The one that we picked was very smooth to walk with. It disassembles and compacts really well. But another thing that I love about it is it can actually fit 2. We have a toddler seat, we have a bassinet, and we also have an extra toddler seat. So whenever the time comes when Nick and I want to have another baby, we already have a pram that will fit 2. It doesn't even look like a pram that would fit 2, but it has 2 little gauges that you can fit an extra toddler seat or pop the bassinet in. That way when I have my next baby, I'm already all organized and I know that my pram fits 2. The next thing that I found such an essential, which I never thought that it would actually be an essential for me, because I was very surprised that I needed to buy so many of them, but I ended up having to buy more when I had Amelia, which is just so funny. You actually need a shitload of bibs. There was like the one thing where my mum was like, you need this 12 pack of bibs, and I'm like, am I going to use 12 bibs? And she literally just laughed in my face. Just buy so many bibs. I think I ended up having about 16 or 17 bibs. They are such an essential. They also save you constantly having to change their outfits, especially when they ends up spitting up a lot or you have a baby that spits up a lot. Amelia literally just lived in bibs. She constantly had a bib on her pretty much the entire first maybe 4 months. She was quite a spitty baby, so for about 4 months straight, she just had a bib on her all the time when she was awake. Definitely one item that I did not expect that I would have to buy a lot of, but if you're buying all of your baby stuff, you need to buy a lot of bibs. Just get prepared. The next essential, well, it's not really, it is an essential, but it's also just like a bit of a hack. Sometimes some of the burp cloths can be quite expensive, especially when it's literally just like a tea towel. We actually never went and bought burp cloths. We just used old tea towels. They're already nice and long. They're very inexpensive, especially if you just go buy cheap ones from Target or Kmart or whatever. We just used old tea towels. They did the job. They go quite long because you only really need this much cloth at the front because their head's here and their body's here. But you know, they actually go quite long. So if you're on a budget and you have old tea towels, these just do perfectly fine. The next thing I wanted to talk about, it's not really an essential item that I absolutely loved. It's just a bit of a tip, because I understand from like a new mum's perspective how overwhelming it can be when you're buying all the stuff that you need at the beginning. I definitely found it extremely overwhelming on how many onesies do I need? Do I need to buy socks? Do I need to buy mitts? Do I need to buy beanies. And then you look online and you see all these different people and they've bought like 10, 15 onesies, or they've got all these different outfits, and they've got shoes and they've got coats and they've got jumpers and all this crap. I will be honest to tell you, when Amelia was a newborn, I rotated the same 6 onesies. And then when she was over 3 months old, and it was getting to the warm weather and she was in like top and shorts, I still rotated the same 6 outfits. So you actually don't need to buy a whole lot. If there's one tip that I can say, is that you actually don't need to buy a whole lot. I know a lot of people can make it out to be like, oh, but they have poo explosions all the time, or they do this and they spit up and they blah, blah, blah. As long as you have 16 million bibs, you're all good when it comes to spitting up all over their outfits. And they actually don't do that many poo explosions. I reckon Amelia only did a good handful. As long as they're in the right nappy size, you're changing their nappy every single time they've had a feed, you should be able to not have to deal with an explosion very often. So don't think that you need to spend a lot of your money on buying all these different outfits and getting 10, 15 onesies or getting all these things. You really don't need it. We literally used the same 6 onesies in rotation. You do that much washing because all the birth clops, the bibs, their bedding, blankets, all the stuff that they spit up on, you do so much washing that you have the ability to just use the same 5 or 6 outfits. I reckon I did about a load of washing every second day. We had that much washing. So definitely in that newborn season, or probably up until about 6 months of age, we just used the same 6 outfits in rotation. So don't think you need to buy a lot of outfits. If there's another thing that I can also say that you don't really need to buy, it is socks and mitts. Okay? Especially if you're having a winter baby, most of the onesies that you buy, or make sure that when you are buying onesies that they have the hand covers on them, where every time I put her in a onesie that didn't have the hand covers and I had to put mitts on her hands, they just flung right off. They're literally pointless. So as long as you buy onesies that have the feet covers and that have their hand covers, you don't need to buy them. So just as a tip. Now, these are the bottles that we used. Ignore the water. I just grabbed this out of the fridge. These are the bottles that we used. We used the Tommy Tippy brand. The reason I love these bottles, not only that Amelia responded really well to these bottles, I know some babies can be quite temperamental when it comes to like the nipple on these bottles. The one thing I loved about them was they are actually self-sterilizing. I don't know about other brands. I've never really looked into other brands because we only used the one brand. I really like that they're self-sterilizing. If you're someone that likes to travel a lot or want to go away for the weekend but you don't want to have to take the sterilizer because the sterilizer is bloody huge, these bottles are also self-sterilizing, which is really convenient. Well, for someone like me, it's really convenient. So to get into some of the stuff that we used as Amelia got older, when it got to teething, this is the teething gel that we used. We also used the Bonjela as well. She responded really well to Bonjela, but this brand was even better. It is called MS33 gel. So pretty much contains the exact same ingredients as Bonjela does, except it has a couple of extras. Within seconds of putting this on her gums when she's teething, she is instantly soothed. Something about this stuff is like a miracle worker. So if you're in the market to buying a teething gel, absolutely highly recommend. It just looks like that if you're looking for it. The next thing that we absolutely loved, I'll just grab it, it's just stuck to something. So when it came to feeding Amelia solids, I love these plates. I don't know what brand it is, to be completely honest, but any silicone plate is fine. But these ones stick to the high chair. These really stick on because, as you can see before, I literally had it stuck to something. I had to unstick it. Amelia cannot rip these off. I can't even rip these off and I'm an adult. They are just the best. They have little compartments, your little compartments and your big meal spot. Absolutely love it. Highly recommend. Easy to clean. Oh, there you go. And you can pop it in the dishwasher. That's even better. I just hand wash it, but it's easy to clean. It sticks to the high chair really well. Absolutely love it. I also love the matching bib. This was the bib that went with the plate. Highly recommend the pocket. Absolute game changer. At the beginning when we were feeding Amelia solids, we were just putting like just a regular bib on her. As time went on and we would give her more solid food, it just kept like every time she was dropping it, it would just go all over her legs and in her chair. This absolutely saves that. It just catches everything. Definitely didn't bother using any normal cloth bib. Switch out to the silicone with the little catcher or food catcher. Easy to clean. Highly recommend. Still talking about topic of solids, the next thing that I absolutely loved during the food making process was these molds. I got these from Kmart. They are just this silicone like container mold. They come with 9 different, this was really inexpensive too, it was like $5. These come with 9 little holes. It comes with the perfect serving size, so if you're making up some rice or some purees or anything, it just comes with the perfect serving size for your baby. Perfect for the freezer. I used to make up pasta and stuff and pop it in here. It freezes really well, cleans really well, and it always made me know that I'm giving my baby enough food and not too much food. Just, yeah, they are the perfect serving size. So I got these from Kmart, very inexpensive, so if you're in the lookout for anything when you're meal prepping, highly recommend. Lucky last that I'm going to talk about, I'm just going to put the lid back on because this freaking lid, Amelia keeps ripping it off. These drink bottles are the best. I'll pop on the screen what the brand is. I absolutely love these drink bottles. Amelia loves these drink bottles. We have 2 of them. That's how much we love them. Everybody in my mum's group has these. I'm sure that's saying something. They are leak proof, so if it tips over this way, water doesn't come out. Easy to clean. So if your baby is in the stage of throwing things when they're in the high chair and they just piff it, like my baby, I swear that the bottle is indestructible. It just gets piffed everywhere and it has not broken. The only thing that falls off every now and then is the lid, and Amelia pulls it off, which is so annoying, but they are the best. Almost every mum that I come across has these drink bottles. They are the best drink bottles. It's so funny. Last time I went to a mum's group, pretty much almost every single mum in the group had one of these drink bottles. They come in like so many different colors, and every time one of the mums would whip out the drink bottle for their baby to have a drink, all of the babies would just congregate because they all have the same drink bottle, and they'd all be going towards this drink bottle to also go have a drink, and all the mums were like, no, no, no. It is the funniest thing, but all the mums have them. They are the best. They're very inexpensive. So if you're in the market of getting a drink bottle for your baby, for your 6-month-old or older, these are the best. And that's pretty much all the things that I can think of in those first 12 months. I'm sure there's some things that I've probably forgotten about, but from memory, these are all the things that I absolutely love. So yeah, if you are a new mum, I totally get how overwhelming it can be. Definitely not try to watch so many videos on the essentials because everybody's opinion is different on what's actually essential and what's not essential. Even take what I have to say with a grain of salt, because obviously every single baby is different. Some babies take dummies, some babies just don't take dummies. Some babies like white noise, some babies don't like white noise. All of them are different. All you can do is try out different things, try out different brands, see what your baby likes, see what you like to determine what will be essential for your next baby, if your next baby is gonna like them. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't, well then, I don't know, don't. If you enjoy this type of video, definitely let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to talk more about anything baby, pregnancy related, postpartum related. I can always do the things that I liked when I was pregnant or the things that I used during my postpartum season, if anybody is interested. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, follow along for more in the future. Hope you guys have a good night, and I will see you